I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
Now, you know, last week we essentially moaned throughout.
Was a bit of a grumbly one last time. Yeah.
With the exception of the finale, which caught everyone by surprise.
No one expected that.
No. However, unfortunately, I'm not visiting the Mercedes portion of this again. What I am doing is commenting on some news that has come out this week that I am just livid about. So the moaning is going to be a continued theme, at least for this intro, should we say?
It's going to continue. Okay, so I might know what you're going to talk about, but let's see where this goes.
This is one that's close to home for both of us at present. Volvo ends the sale of saloons and estate cars in the UK. For fuck's sake.
Yes, this was top of my list for this one as well. Yes, I'm afraid so. SUVs only from this point on.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for going potty mouth so early, but that's ridiculous.
You did go in hard there with that, but
you're not disagreeing though. So
no, I think on this occasion the use of it is probably justified. This was a very disappointing story to read. Yes,
this is what is the after our conversations about bloody SUVs and
if there's one manufacturer we thought we could count on for an estate car, it was Volvo.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not stopping making them. They're just stopping bringing them to the UK.
Yeah, which, it says more about us than it does them, really.
Well, I think it does. I mean, their sales have been falling for a while in the UK. But then their offerings haven't been that exciting in the UK for a while.
I mean, while I'm not the biggest fan of the modern Volvo estates, they do seem to be reasonably popular.
They do.
The V60, for instance, that's sort of the middle of the road one. I see them really regularly.
Yeah, there's quite a few V90s around too.
Yeah, a bit of a higher price point, but there's quite a few. But
there's quite a few around. Yeah, you do see them.
Granted, you don't see the saloons as much.
No, but you never did you? Not compared to the estates. The estate was always leading the way on those models. But you do see quite a lot of XC90s. You always have.
In my case here, to be honest.
No, I know, but it's true. You do. But that is. I mean, coming on the back of mere weeks from the death of the Fiesta, and now the death of the Volvo estate, at least in this country, that is very disappointing.
Yeah, if you go out and go, right, well, I want to buy a modern estate car, you go, well, your default response being Volvo is just not a thing now.
It's very disappointing. Disappointing.
It's very odd, but I mean, you go to your German manufacturers, of course you can have an estate.
Oh, absolutely. In several different variations from both BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. In fact, some of their strongest models are the estates.
Yeah, I mean, while none of us is praising the modern BMW design language,
no.
But for instance, I mean, you see a 3 Series touring here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, you do. They're all over the place.
Yeah. You charge an enormous amount of money for an M3 touring, and people are biting your hand off for them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you clearly want them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're everywhere. Same with the Mercedes estate. Same with, some of the Audi estates are, well, there's one in particular that we particularly like, because we're not really into Audi, but
we are going to have to keep heaping on the praise if they can actually make an estate car still. And sell it to us.
How can yes, please, yes. How can we have Volvo without an estate? It doesn't make sense. It's kind of not really interested anymore. Then,
no, it's not. It's not. I'm going to have an additional beer. There we go.
It's driven you to it, hasn't it? As a Volvo owner yourself, Volvo estate owner yourself. This is a sad day.
I don't get it. I really don't. Probably never will get it. I'm just pissed off about it.
Well, again, it's the same argument, isn't it? Are they doing it because people aren't buying them? Have people not been buying them because they've not been very good? Or do people only want SUVs now and just the estate car is dead? It's very worrying. They are claiming it's a drop in sales, so it isn't worth them doing it anymore in the UK. But is that because their most recent models have been fairly lackluster? I don't know.
It's just weird. It's like, well, you're clearly making the cars. Well,
Yes.
What does it hurt whether you sell them here or not? It's not like you stack the showrooms full of them. They're made to order, for Christ's sake.
It would be interesting to see if they're dropping it from all right-hand drive markets or it's just the UK. Because if they're still making them in right-hand drive, that seems even less reason to not bring a few into the UK. I think, and I hesitate to use such a foul word this early in our recording, do we think it might be Brexit? Sorry. I know that's political. But
I hadn't considered it, but
could that be a factor? I think it might be.
Oh, it's just
export tariffs and all that kind of nonsense.
But it's like I've since the news broke, I've been reading sort of forums, social media, and people. Well, I agree, going maybe it could be that, but loads of people have come to the same sort of assumption, going, well, yeah, you see their SUVs and crossover things, but you see just as many of their estate cars as well.
Yeah, you do. It's true.
It's like, I don't know. You could be onto something. I don't know.
I don't know. They're claiming it's a drop in sales. But is it really the market? I don't know. It's a great shame, nevertheless, that no more Volvo estates. That's just that's very disappointing. Yes, Cross. Indeed. Yeah. I mean, maybe they're going to do a Polestar estate. That would be nice.
It would be, but I don't. I think you. Well, they sort of did one, didn't they? What number was it that they showed? Was it the 3, 5? I don't know. One that was. It was touch and go of going. Is that an estate or is? But it's really the closest we're going to get in the short term.
Yeah, I thought it was more of a small SUV than a proper estate. Because to be an estate, the front end needs to be the same as the saloon, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
If it's higher up and different and bigger, and then it's an SUV, isn't it? Yeah, if you can't tell the difference just by looking at the front of it between the estate and the saloon, then it's not. That's the criteria, in my opinion. That's what if you can't tell the difference looking at the front of it, then it's an estate. If you really can tell the difference because it's a foot higher, then it's an SUV.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Disappointed.
Sad times. It's all going awfully wrong, isn't it?
It is going wrong, isn't it? All the things that we love and hold dear, and the staples of the car industry. Ford makes affordable, cheap, fast-performing little hatchbacks. Volvo makes big, practical estate cars. Neither of those things is true anymore.
No, that's not a thing.
It doesn't make sense. There's something wrong with the world if those two things aren't happening.
It's weird, isn't it? It's just, it's pissing annoying. I do have another slight grumble. Before we move on to mildly cheerier things, at the time of its release, we commented about the new Nissan Z, and it's not being for us, but doesn't it look good? And
indeed, yes, it does.
Z cars are reasonably popular over here. I have no idea why they're not making it over here. They do make it in right-hand drive.
They do.
They sell it in Japan.
They do.
So we're
Mr.
still
Smith has been driving one in California this week.
yeah, very nice, very nice. And he makes the same sort of case for it that we're doing of going, well, why isn't it here? Baffling.
Why isn't it here? You're building a right-hand drive one.
It doesn't make any sense. And to rub salt in the wounds, they've revealed the Nismo version of it.
I did see this. Yeah. Yeah.
For Christ's sake, it looks good.
Not for us.
What it just looks really nice. Nice little couple of little Nismo tweaks here and there.
It looks nicer than the standard one.
Yeah, it's very cool. But just why? I mean, for crying out loud.
I know. I know. It's so annoying, isn't it? Why not bring it to the UK? I fear it might be the same reason. We're just being sidelined now. Not worth the bother.
Yeah, entirely possible. Yeah, because obviously I think Nissan, if we're going to go political on it, what happened to the manufacturing plant over here? Is it still a thing or is it gone? Because obviously they were making Nissans here.
They were, I believe, I lost track of it because there was so much back and forth. I believe it ended up, they were going to close it completely, and then at the last minute they have agreed to retain it, but it won't be making whole cars. It'll only be making components, I believe.
Okay.
I think that's where it ended. I wouldn't say that for certain. By all means, do your own research, dear listener. I think from memory that's where it ended up, that it's not going to completely close, but they're going to change its purpose.
Okay.
I think.
Well, this is an interesting one. I don't know how relevant this is, but this is an August 22 article. And the Japanese car-making giant Nissan is to close its British engine cylinder plant in 2024 when the contract with its only customer expires. So, yeah, this is the one in the Sunderland area.
Yeah. I might be wrong. I thought it had been agreed that it would be retained.
No, there we go. We got a follow-up one of going, actually, it could well be. Okay, so...
I'm sure I read something to say that they'd changed their mind. They were going to keep it.
Okay, yep, I think... I don't know, yeah, okay. Well, watch this space. That seems to be a tad fluid at the moment.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth with it, because obviously the government weren't happy about it, but I mean, obviously they're not going to do anything about it.
Right, okay, so what we're doing is we've established we're potentially shooting ourselves in the foot here, which is why we're not having these nice things.
Yeah, I would say that's fair. Yeah.
Right, fine. I'm going to close that tab with the picture of the nice Nissan Z Nismo in it.
Yeah, it's nice, that, isn't it? It's really nice, that.
Stop it.
Yeah, well, no, don't stop it. Start it, but start it over here, please.
Okay, well, stop looking at it. I'll go with that.
I'll stop looking at it. Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Right.
Disappointing.
Yes.
However, there was another new car I was going to mention, and I haven't actually been able to establish if this will be coming to the UK or not.
We're all over this today, aren't we?
Oh yeah, we're yeah. Well, we got a lot on at the moment, both of us. However,
and we're providing tip-top news for the UK car buyer.
yes, not a lot you can do anymore because nobody's bringing their cars here. So
no. What you got for us? Come on.
Yes. You can have a Kia, which is no bad thing. To be fair, there is a new Toyota Land Cruiser on the way.
Saw this.
Yes, very nice looking thing. Yes, diesel, unfortunately, but nevertheless,
cruisers are. I bet it's still the 2.8 as well.
It is. It is still the old faithful in rattling in under there. There is talk of a hybrid version coming next year. No talk of a pure electric yet, but it's got the same kind of vibe as the new Defender, I think.
Yeah, but this, dare I say it, this will last. Sorry, where did that come from?
Ooh. That's a very unpatriotic comment. But yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see some prices, but I don't know if there are any yet. But the thing I like about it is that although it's a very modern take on it, it still looks like a Land Cruiser.
It does. I'd have that in a heartbeat over a Defender, if we're going purely on a visual thing.
Yes, I think I would too. Yes,
I'd
I'm not a
imagine-
massive fan of the new Defender.
And I imagine the underpinnings are rock solid, and this will go anywhere, do anything.
I'm getting the impression the underpinnings are kind of the same as the old one. Yes, I think it's an aesthetic refresh. Yeah,
it'll work. That's what they've always been good at.
Says it's got a 50% stiffer frame. It's actually it's a body on frame car, which is very unusual these days.
Mm-hmm.
So 50% stiffer frame. It's got better stabilization and things like that. So it's it's doing all the things that a Land Cruiser should do well.
Like it.
But still very practical. Yeah, 2.8 litre turbo diesel. Yes, around 3,000 of them will be brought to the UK. So it is coming to the UK, but not in huge numbers.
No, that's... Mind you, they've done that with a few cars of late, and if demand is there, then they have been sending more. So
I suspect they're testing the water with that. Yeah. See how that goes. That I would, as you've just indicated, I think that could put a bit of a dent in Defender sales. Because I think it'll be better at what it does.
Yeah, I think so too. I really like it.
I do. I really like that. Because it still looks like a Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Defender does anymore.
No. And I think the Defender is too expensive, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of got to be, hasn't it, to make sense? And they've put it in a different place in the market. It's still a kind of roughy tufty car, but farmers don't buy Land Rovers anymore.
No, they'll buy Japanese things.
Yeah, exactly. So,
you say that they're not going to buy Mitsubishi L200s, are they?
Not anymore. No, that's gone away as well.
I'm assuming they can get a Toyota Hilux or something similar.
Oh, they'll be all right. They'll find something. Yeah, they'll find something. Ford Ranger, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. And we can't use Harry and Jeremy as a yardstick with their L322s. That's not it. I'm not convinced that's your average farmer.
They're 15-year-old identical Range Rovers. Yes, that was a fascinating episode of Harry's Garage. But
really interesting. It's like watching two men with exceedingly large bank accounts not worry too much about constantly looking after their aging Range Rovers.
Yes, and neither of them could really give a fig about the environment. So, it was a bit slanted in one direction, shall we say?
Well, but I suppose they come back to that argument of going, well, is running the old car better than buying new ones and all this?
And that's a valid argument, and it's one I'm very torn on the whole environmental argument these days. And yes, there is a solid argument for running a 15-year-old car like that is better, or at least as good as running a brand new EV. However, they have picked two 15-year-old cars which are not cheap, whatever they like to claim, to keep going.
No, they're not. They're not even. I mean, they're not like pence to buy, but they're still not cheap things to buy, let alone run.
No, I mean they consider them cheap.
Yeah.
It's. I can't remember offhand, but I mean you're probably looking at 10. I'd have thought for a decent one. I mean, you can get one for less than that, but I'd say you probably need to be spending 10.
I know what you mean. Yeah, otherwise you're just going to spend more in the long run because it's going to be knackered.
Well, this is the problem, isn't it? Or yes, it's going to be knackered and keep being knackered. I'm just going in for.
I'm going
in. I do occasionally look at Range Rovers and think, I could just. Oh no.
No, you can't. No.
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 No. Oh, well, prices do start. In fact, this actually brings me on to something else I wanted to discuss tonight. But the cheapest L322 here is 1,500. I'm going to suggest you need to spend a bit more than that.
I think that would be very, very wise.
For something, yeah, I mean, yes, and they sort of, yeah, I mean, you can pay as little as that, and kind of anything in between.
They're all over the place price-wise, aren't they? I mean,
yeah, they really are.
Like, here's one again, a petrol V8 for $5,000. You're all right. You're really all right. I'm not.
Yeah, that's not enough.
That's insane.
It is. Yeah, there's another one. There's one here, 2006. So that's an early L322. 3.5, 135,000 miles.
No, madness.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
I did no. But Harry and Clarkson are in the position that they can spend whatever it needs on it when it needs it.
Yeah.
And they both have. I mean, they both had a bit of a list of what they've had to do to keep those 15-year-old cars. I mean, it's, you look at it and you think, yeah, is this a case of Trigger's broom? How much of that is left that's original? Not sure about that. Don't think that was sensible used buying advice, really.
That is absolutely silly, isn't it?
I would say so. However, it does bring me on to something that I have noticed over the last couple of weeks.
What have you noticed?
There are cheaper used cars of all types starting to appear again.
Okay.
The bottom end of the market has started to come down a little bit again. We've been in this bizarre situation of late that for a running and driving car, kind of anything less than 1,000, you can forget about it. But I'm now starting to see stuff that, you know, running, driving, MOT'd for hundreds again instead of thousands. The bottom end of the market does seem to have just come down a little bit again, which is nice to see.
Yes, that is because we've been saying for quite a long time that please can this bubble burst.
Yeah, and I got a feeling it might be starting to. I mean, if we take Facebook Marketplace as an example, excuse me, because we're in the, I think it's fair to say, in the dregs there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think that's telling any secrets particularly. So if I search for what's within range of me here, and I search by price. Oh, come on, you are rubbish. Right, here we are. Look, now here's a classic example. This is a prime example here. We have a 2007 Mini Cooper here in red with a white roof.
Lovely.
110,000 miles. Little bit rough around the edges. Needs the aircon regassing, alloys refurbing, things like that. And that's up for 600 quid.
Okay, yeah, that is.
So, you know, here we are.
I was not expecting 3 digits, I'll be honest.
No, exactly. Here we are, another one. Citroen Berlingo. Another classic example. Okay, turbo's making a funny noise. Yeah, that could be a concern. But again, where are we? Citroen Berlingo, 2006. It says 19,000 miles, but I think that might be a typo. Nevertheless, 600 quid. What have we got here? Oh no, that one's spares or repairs. It's a Vauxhall, so yeah.
Yeah, you probably keep that.
Yeah, probably keep that. Yeah, Alfa Romeo Mito here, 2010, 700 quid. So I'm not claiming these cars are mint and they're not going to need some bits and bobs.
No.
But
the bottom end of the market is
it does seem to have drifted down a little bit. Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is a brilliant example. 1995 Volvo 940.
Oh, okay.
Okay. 2.4 turbo diesel. It just had says new head and cam, and there's a crack in the windscreen.
Okay.
800 quid. Again, it's not cosmetically it's not going to win any concourse award, but nevertheless,
no, it's still a nice old Volvo, though, isn't it?
Here we go. 2007 V70, same shape as yours.
Okay.
Few dents and scratches. Passenger door slightly stiff to open. Occasionally overheats.
Occasionally, it's fine.
Occasionally overheats.
I do that too.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, occasionally overheats, fine.
900 quid.
Oh.
Yeah. See, for that money, you'd think, okay, yeah, all right, it's going to need a couple of bits, but
you'd have a punt, wouldn't you?
You'd have a punt on that, wouldn't you? They're low enough. None, as I say, all of these need some stuff doing. But when you're down to 3 digits, you think, oh, well, okay.
Yeah. That Volvo might have all its gears as well.
There you go. You could buy that for the gearbox, and you'd still be winning.
Yeah.
It's the same color interior as yours as well, so you might be able to do a bit of a mix and match thing.
Oh, nice. Nice. I could, yeah. That's encouraging. Have you found it on any particular car that you're looking for?
Well,
have you noticed a drop in anything that you're willing to pull the trigger on?
Well, as you know, I'm probably a few weeks away still from pulling the trigger. But yeah, there are models I'm interested in that are coming down to the sort of prices I was originally thinking of paying. Yes.
Oh, that's lovely then, isn't it?
There are a few around now for the 5-6 grand mark. Yes, that look reasonably decent.
Lovely. Okay, so
there's the odd silly one up above 15. But they have been around for a long time. No one's buying them at that price.
Yeah. No one's going to pay for it. But that's nice to know that it's not just the dregs of the market. The price lowering is occurring across the board.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you notice it first with the dregs. But and I didn't even mention the 1994 Land Rover Discovery. Spares or repairs.
That's a brave purchase, that one. How much was that out of interest? Sorry,
800 quid.
Oh wow. No, I'll pass on that one. I'm afraid.
Yeah, indeed. 137,000 miles. Currently on Sawn. Been used as a farm vehicle for several years.
God.
Oh, that's a winner, isn't it?
Oh, that is going to be on its arse. And smell like an arse as well.
Oh, that's bad. Don't get in it. No. Certainly not wearing any clothes you ever want to use again. No.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's bad, isn't it? It might need some new tyres. I bet it. Tip of the iceberg.
Oh, my God. I bet. I mean, they must be nose blind to that one.
Oh, that comes with the little-known option of transparent A-pillars as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's really handy at junctions because you don't get that view obscured.
That's right. It's a safety feature, if anything.
Yeah,
absolutely. You're very pleased with that. But nevertheless, yes, in the areas that I am looking, There's been a slight downward trend, but the prices of those vehicles that I'm looking at have been all over the place for the last 2 years, as we know.
Yeah.
So we will have to see what's around when I'm ready. But
I was going to say, even in a few weeks' time, it's got the potential to change. But
Yeah.
I'm hoping it'll, for your benefit, it'll stay roughly where it is. And if it's going downwards and staying there for a bit, lovely.
That'd be nice. I mean, I have to say the S-Type R particularly, the numbers are dwindling. I don't mean the prices, I mean the quantities.
Yes, yeah.
There are currently less than 10 on Auto Trader. So, and I think there's 3 on Car and Classic. So we are where prices are higher generally.
Yeah.
I have noticed, but XFRs are in more plentiful supply, and can be had for less than 10 for the first version. But as we know, the pre-facelift XFRs underneath are basically the S-Type R. It's the same car.
Yeah.
So, although from what I've read, the early 5-litre V8 that went into the XF, they did have some reliability issues. There were electrical gremlins and things with it, which the old 4.2 never had. So
he's trying to say the electrical gremlins in a British car.
Who'd have thought? However, prices are still very fluid, I think. But I thought it was interesting to note that there is some stuff around. You may not want any of it, but there is some stuff around now coming down below the £1,000 mark, which there hasn't been for quite a while.
No, it's definitely noteworthy because you never know when you need a bit of an old banger for a short period of time.
Well said.
No, take that how you will, but
there you go.
Yeah, but sometimes you do need a vehicle at short notice.
Well, there you go. See, Land Rover Freelander here. That's something we all
get
hanker
in the
after.
sea. I cannot stand those abysmal vehicles.
Yes, and it would seem neither can anyone else, because there's one here for 140,000 miles, 2002. The paint's as flaky as a pie. 900 quid.
Psst, that's too much.
Yeah. There's a smart car here for 1,000. How about
that? But I know I vaguely praised the one I used.
You did.
I don't want one.
Do you know it's only done 56,000 miles? Lovely.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You get it then.
I don't want it. I'm not the one who said I liked them.
Hey, it got me to and from where I needed to be, and didn't cost the earth in fuel, so it did the trick.
I suppose what I should look for here, really, if we're being true to form, is a Mark 1 Focus, shouldn't I?
Yeah, that's probably a good shout. I bet there aren't any.
No, there are.
Okay.
Yeah, there are. In fact, there's a couple I'm sure we have discussed before. It's still there.
Still there?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah, that reeks of Facebook Marketplace. They'll have been sold or scrapped. It's not current adverts, is it?
No, probably not, is it? Let me look somewhere else. Because we always did say we would consider. But let's see. Here we go. Searchy search.
What have you got for us?
What have we got here? Let me just filter my search, and I want to filter by years to cut out all the knackered Mark IIs. Here we go. 2005. That was the dregs of the Mark 1. Okay. Yeah, well, see, prices start from 650 Poundingtons.
Okay.
Now, let's see. That one looks like it's been in the sea. That one looks like it's already been crushed. Now, this one, here we go. This one's a bit more like it. Yes. Now, what we have here is a 1.6 Z-Tech 5-door hatch, 164,000 miles, 2002. Manual.
Very good.
I know most of them are, but you do occasionally get an auto. Internet's struggling now. It's a petrol. I've asked too much now. I asked it for a picture.
Oh my goodness me! That's it. You're going to be cutting out any second now.
Any second now. Now here we go. 15-inch alloys. Full 12 months MOT. Full service history in that green that they launched it in. That metallic green. £795.
Yeah.
So we're still in the ballpark there.
I like that. I found, while we were skimming, I found a really quite nice one, a 1.6 LX, good condition, nice bit of paperwork. New MOT, 1 year warranty. Who's offering that?
Who's offering that on a car that old?
One owner from new.
Wow.
89,000 miles on a 51 plate, 1,500 quid.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Yes. We are. One of those would do us very well, wouldn't it?
See, there's one. I've got one here, 1.6 gear. 2001, so it's pre-facelift.
Yeah.
84,000 miles.
Oh, lovely.
Silver 5-door hatch. Where are we? MOT until February next year.
Oh, that's loads.
995.
Right. Well, we know what we should be doing then.
Oh, some very suspect marks in the velour on the front seats, but we don't need to worry about that.
It's not. You're not eating your dinner off them. Don't worry about it.
No aircon in that one. Well, it's a gear, so you will get all the bits and bobs. Some of the gears had leather, but this one doesn't.
Oh, yeah. Although Ford leather of that era is not a pleasant leather, is it?
It's not, because our Puma's got some of that, and it's it doesn't behave like leather should.
No, so it is a cheap leather. I'll grant them that.
It is. They're claiming this one comes with a warranty as well.
I mean, who's offering what is that warranty covering? That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not entirely sure what that's worth.
Because I remember when I got the Volvo, that I got a warranty with that.
I mean, it would have been a considerably newer car then, but
because it would have been bloody hell, 8-9 years old when I got it.
Okay, that's still quite old to be offering a warranty.
Yeah, so got offered a warranty, and so you read it and you go, "Oh, I see, nothing's covered."
No, yeah, exactly. Yes, basically covers you for nothing.
Yes, this warranty is in name only and nothing else. This is nothing a bit of redundant paper.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah.
Still, it looks like a Mark 1 Focus for around about that sort of money is still a thing.
Okay, so we haven't done it in a while. So are you suggesting that, and if you are, then I fully agree that we should round off and say that once again, now that prices are on our side again, we should just all go off and buy a Mark 1 Focus?
Yeah, I don't think you can really argue with that, can you?
No.
Just buy a Mark 1 Focus. Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.